why you're here. Okay, you're here for a reason. When you was born, everything that God wanted in you, he put it inside of you. You know, he finished it in you. So you got to remember that everything that God had in you, the gift that you have, everything about you was already finished in you. Okay, so he has a place for you already. Just like we've been taught, what was taught this weekend, we already know that. So what he did for us, he backed us up in time. He backed us up in time, and we had to work it out and figure out, okay, what is that? What do you have for our life, Lord? Okay, so we had to get an understanding of what he had in mind for us. Okay, so if you look at the top, it says completing your God's given assignment. Okay, it's not your assignment, it's God's given assignment. Okay, right underneath that, it says it goes beyond your intellect. You can't get enough education for what God has for your life. Okay, you can get all the doctrines you want, you can get as many degrees if you want, as in a thermometer, but you'll never know what God has for your life, because it has to come through God, not through man. That's what you need to do. Let me tell you something. If I've learned over the years, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I'm serious. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You are making a plan even though you're not making a plan, because you're planning to fail. So you got to remember that. So we have to make sure that we stay connected to God. So the first scripture I'm reading from the Amplified Version is John 15:1-2. He said, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that continues to bear fruit, he repeatedly prunes so that it will bear more fruit, even richer, finer fruit. Right there, I'll tell you that you ought to shout right there, because what he's telling you is, if you stay connected with me and you can continue to understand what I want for your life, well, guess what? I'm going to refine you. I'm going to make you the fruit that you're going to bear is going to be so great. It's going to be so wonderful. I'm telling you, that's what you're going to have for your life. And that's what God is trying to tell you. But he's also telling you that he's going to continue to prune. So you don't even have to do anything. So if you continue to stay connected with God, God is going to take care of your naysayers. Okay? He's going to take care of those people for you. He's not leaving that up to you. He's going to do it for you. So you got to remember that God is going to take care of those things for you. But you have to be connected, just like that GPS. You got to have a destination. He's going to have a destination for your life. The destination doesn't change. It's that you changed. Okay? The destination for your life doesn't change. It's that you change. So when we talk about the connection, that's what we're talking about. So we're going to go down to to 1. It says, how do you get connected? Through salvation. You have to die to yourself, and you have to say, God, I'm giving it to you. Okay, you have to claim Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, that he is your savior and that he rose on the 3rd day. So through your salvation, you get connected. And from that day forth, God has a plan for your life. Okay, so Ephesians 2:8-9, it says, for by grace you have been saved through faith. Remember that, faith. And this is not your own works. So it's not your own works that you have to, you're going to work out your salvation. We already know that you can't work out your salvation, which God prepared beforehand. See, that key word right there. He prepared it beforehand. So he finished it in you when you said you giving your life to him. It was already done. So he had already had a plan for your life. It was done right then and there that we should walk in them. Now we got to walk it out. So now he prepared it for it. Now we're going to back us up in time, and now we got to walk it out. Okay, that's what he's talking about. In Acts 16:31, they said, believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, and you and your household. So your household as well. Okay. Whatever God has for you cannot be completed outside the kingdom. I'm going to tell you that right now. It cannot, whatever God has for your life cannot be completed outside the kingdom. So in order to complete that, you got to be in the kingdom of God. So it's not a physical place. We already know that's the spiritual realm, right? So that's the spiritual realm that God is talking about, even on the earth. So you got to get there, and you got to believe in that. So we're talking about, that's kingdom talk. That's kingdom talk. Until you understand that you are royalty, you'll never get it. Okay? So you got to understand that you're a royal priest. You have royalty coursing through your veins. Okay? So keep that in mind. So that's why you can't listen to man. No matter what man tell you to do. But what he's looking to do for you, he's looking to position you in order to elevate you. So God is looking to position you in the right place to elevate you. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to move through quick on this one because I want to get to the meat and potatoes of it, which is the phase 2 part of it. You know, and Pastor Keith, you can kind of keep me in check because I might get a little excited. Okay? All right. It said, how do you know you're connected? Right there, by the fruit you bear. By the fruit you bear. It's not coming to church every Sunday or here on Wednesdays and thinking you're doing something. What are you doing on Monday morning when you got to face your coworkers? How are you going to stand out? What's going to make you shine and make them look at you a little different than everybody else? Okay, so that's what we're talking about, the fruit that you bear. Fruit is the direct result of whatever controls our hearts. In Matthew 15:17-18, I'm not gonna read that. You can read that on your own. But basically, what it's talking about, it says that anything that's entering your mouth, okay, does not defile you, okay, because it's waste. Okay, we know that it enters our mouth, it is waste. But whatever comes out of our mouth, that we spew out of our mouth, that can defile us, because if you think it, and it comes out of you say, I didn't mean to say that. Yeah, you did. Because it was in your heart to say it. Because if it was never in your heart to say it, it would have came out your mouth, okay, to defile you who you were. See, when you're saved, you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna be perfect and everything's gonna work out. No, we already know that we can't do that. That's not true. Okay. And you can't condemn people because of that, because we are not perfect. Okay. So your faith is the one that you need to hold on to. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about faith. This is how I look at faith. This part is not on your sheet, but I'm gonna give you one of my acronyms that I like to use about faith. It says finding awesome inspiration through him. Faith. Finding awesome inspiration through him. Faith. Okay. So we know who the him is, right? Yeshua HaMashiach. So if I find inspiration through him, I know it's good. So that's how I look at faith. Okay. That's what gives me the inspiration when I wake up in the morning. Okay. But inspiration, faith is not just dropping on your knees and praying to God. It's going to take some work. I'm going to tell you, it's three things that you need to look at. Again, you might want, I don't know if this is on your paper, so you want to write it down. It's that faith requires courage. Okay, that's one thing. It's going to require courage. What are you going to do in a situation? What if God bless you with a lot of money? What if God blesses you with $200,000, right? $200,000. And he tells you that you need to take $50,000 and you need to bless somebody that really didn't kind of like you, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do in that situation? If God telling you, okay, I'm going to give you this $200,000, but you got to bless this person, but you know that they have character flaws. What are you going to do? Okay, that's courage, man. That's courage right there. So it's going to require some courage on that part, okay, through your faith. And it's also going to take some action. Okay, what are you going to do when you leave the church? What are you going to do on a Monday morning? What are you going to do on Tuesday morning? It's going to require some action for you to walk out your faith. And the last thing, it's going to require vision. Faith is going to require vision. Okay, so if we was talking about that in the hallway. Okay, if you don't have vision, then you can't. If you can't see it on the canvas of your imagination, you will not have it. It is not there. It's an imagination, okay? It is not true vision. True vision, you can paint a picture in your mind, just like you know what your couch looks like right now in your mind. So you can see it on the canvas of your imagination. So those are the three things that I look at when I'm talking about faith. I'm not talking about just something I believe in. If I believe in it, I'm going to start walking it out in my life, right? So that's what we need to get used to, is walking it out in our life through courage, through action, and through vision. Okay, moving right along. I'm trying to take my time here because I got a lot of information to cover here. The third thing is, how do you stay connected? Be steadfast, trust God until you get your answer for your assignment. So you got to stand firm. And this is the thing, you can't get ahead of God. A lot of times we come up with an idea, or we think we have a vision. We think we have an idea for a business or whatever. And what happens is we get ahead of God, and that's not where he wants us to be. Okay. And then it ends up failing. Okay. You might even make a lot of money, but it's not sustainable. That's the key. It is not sustainable. So keep that in mind. Okay. So if you want to look at that, go to Galatians 6:9. It says, and let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. If you don't give up, you're going to reap what you sow. Okay? So keep believing in that, and it will happen. Okay? Also through prayer. We need to pray for one another. Okay? Righteous prayer. We need to pray for one another. Okay? If your sister or brother, even if they're doing good, matter of fact, if they're doing good, you need to pray for them even more, because they need to stay covered. Okay, they need to stay covered, because a lot of things are going to come at them. Okay, so don't look at them as being envious or anything like that. No, you need to pray for them, because they have something going on. Pray for them. I pray for your business. I pray for success. I pray for those things. Those are things you need to look for. You got to study the word. You got to meditate on it day and night. I know Doc Rock talked Sunday about meditation, and I recently started doing it a couple months ago. It works. I'm telling you. And when I talk about, if you was here with my seminar, I was talking about clear the clutter. Clear the clutter. That's what I'm talking about. You got to clear the clutter of all the things that pile on you from day to day. Aunt Susie calling you. Your uncle calling you. Your brother calling, your sister. You got to clear all that clutter, and you got to meditate on your own by yourself, and And put on, if you use any kind of music, it has to be a slow instrumental music. It can't be something that, you know, somebody's singing, because you're not really doing a true meditation. Okay, so keep that in mind. And I got to know here, so remember, you're not perfect. You're not perfect. However, your heart should be bent towards God. Okay. Okay. Now I want to really get into the meat and potatoes of it. I want to watch my time, because this. The phase 2 is the plan for your life. Okay, that's what I really want to talk about. And it, like I said, it all comes from the kingdom. It says, the plan for your life is, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Now, what I want you to do now, I want you to visualize something. Take that you out and put your name right there. Take you out, and place your name, replace the you with your name. Make it personal. Make that scripture personal to you. So with you knowing that, you can concentrate on that. You can meditate on that every day. I'm telling you, God will do it. He'll do it for you. So if you do that every day and you tell God, say, you know what, God, it's not about me no more. I can't do it myself. I give it to you. And now you telling God, now you can't, God, you can't lie. What you said to me, you promised me this, it's got to happen. So it's a done deal. Done. Okay. So I did that, and I started replacing, I started putting my name in there. Orlis, not to harm Orlis. Plans to give Orlis hope and fruit for the future. My goodness. You see how that stirs something up in you when you put your name there, put your name on the paper? That's what I'm telling you. Okay. Let's talk about focus, man. I mean, I'm excited about this word I'm telling you that God has given me. Let's talk about focus. Now look at this. It says no focus or wrong focus puts right efforts into wrong places. And I'm going to tell you this, if you read Philippians 3:13-21, it talks about being focused. I'm not going to read that right now. You can read it on your own. But this is the deal. You can work on a job day and night and be really, really tired. Okay? You work, come back home, and you go to sleep, and you don't do anything or whatever. A lot of times, why that's happening, and it's happening daily over and over and over and over again. Because sometimes, I'm not telling y'all might have a great job. I'm just using this as an example, okay? You might have a great job, but what I'm saying is a lot of people, that's what's going on in them, and that's why they get stressed out, because of they go on their daily ritual every day, and they get tired, okay? Because they have good efforts, the right efforts, okay? But it's not in the right place. It's in the wrong places, okay? I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't have a plan for yourself, if you don't start visualizing what God has for your life, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up doing somebody else's plan. You're going to take their plan as it's your own, and it's not yours. It is not yours. And that's what's going to end up happening, because something is good is going to be going on for them. It's good for them, but not for you. Wrong places. So remember that, wrong places. Stay focused on what God has for your life. Now, I'm gonna turn my Bible a little bit tonight. Okay, I'm gonna turn my Bible a little bit. If y'all don't mind, just give me a second here. I'm gonna go to John 11:38-44. So I'll give you some time to go there, because we're gonna read this together. This is powerful. John 11:38-44. Now I'm gonna paint a picture for you. We've all heard this story about Lazarus being raised from the dead, right? And you probably ask me, Orlis, what does that have to do with focus? Okay, I was thinking to myself until God gave it to me. But this is the deal. Okay, we know that he was doing another mission, And they were a little irritated with Jesus because he didn't come when they told him to come. But he continued to do his business for a couple of more days. Okay, everybody know that story. So they were a little upset. Then he finally, you know, finally come, because Lazarus was his friend. He loved Lazarus. Okay, this was his friend, so he cried for Lazarus. Okay, but he know he had to stay focused on what he had to do, his mission, right? He stayed focused on his mission. But check this out, okay? So if we go to John 11, 38 and 44. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna stop in the segments of it. It says, then Jesus, deeply moved again, came to the tomb. It was a cave, a stone against it. And Jesus said, take away the stone, Martha. The sister of the dead man said to him, Lord, by this time there will be an odor. Well, he has been dead for 4 days. He's stinking. Right? Jesus said to her, did I not tell you that if you believe, you would see the glory of God? So they took away the stone, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I think that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this on account of the people standing around. Okay, he's doing this for the people standing around. Okay, that they may believe that you sent me. When he said these things, he cried out with a loud voice, Lazarus, Lazarus, come out. Okay, now keep this in mind. Imagine you're Lazarus, and he called out your name. Okay, and see, remember that, place that in your mind, and I'm gonna keep reading. The man who had died came out, his hands and feet bound with linen strips, and his face wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, unbind him and let him go. Now I want you to keep in mind why he had to call his name Lazarus. This is how powerful it is. If he would just say, come out, and not call Lazarus' name, everybody would have got up. And I'm here to tell you the reason I brought that scripture up about focus. When God calls your name, he's not worried about somebody else. He's worried about you. He's calling you out. No matter what your situation looks like, whether it looks like it's over and you're stinking like you're in a grave and it's complete and you're completely done, Jesus calls your name and said it's not over. Don't worry about what somebody else said about you. Don't worry about your family members talking about you. Don't worry about those things. What did Jesus say about you? What did he tell you? What did he say that you couldn't have? You can have it. He said you can have it. Don't matter what your situation looked like in the past. No matter if you was a drug addict, strung out. No matter if you was depressed. It don't matter. I tell you what, when Jesus calls your name, you got to stand up and you got to come out. Whatever's binding you, loose those straps. It's done. When he calls your name, don't worry about what they're saying about you on the streets. That's why I said replace Lazarus' name with yours. And put you in that tomb. And after they said you was dead. Dr. Caracas, they said you was dead. They said you was over. But he called your name. Said, come out. I got something for you. Pastor Keith, he said, come out. I got something for you. Pastor C, come out. I got something for you. Tell you. Now let's get to staying with the focus. So now that we're focused, let's talk about changing our mindset. How do you change your mindset? So if you look at A, it says questions. You change your focus by changing the questions you ask yourself. Change your focus by the questions you ask yourself. Can I do it? So if you turn it on the back, you see what I'm talking about. For example. So the first sentence, it says, can I really do this? So you're asking yourself, can I really do this? But the next one, in that same sentence says, how can I make this thing happen right now? So if you change the question that you're asking yourself, you can change your mindset. So you have to look at it a little bit different. It's not, can I really do this? But how can I make this thing happen right now? And you declare it right now. So you change the questions you ask yourself. Because questions help you get access to resources within yourself. So if you ask the question to yourself, that's the answer you're going to receive. And this is what I mean. The question you ask is the question you receive, which leads to the result you will get. If you search within yourself doubt, you will get answers to doubt. So if I'm asking doubtful questions, well, guess what? All I've downloaded inside of myself is questions about doubt. So that's what you're going to get. So you'll never get the answers that you're seeking. So if you want to change that, you got to change the question you ask yourself. And you got to change and say, how can I make this thing happen right now? So then you're going to download stuff that whatever you're asking to receive, that's what you're going to get. Keep that in mind. Focus. So if you you have to ask yourself empowering questions. Okay, I'm an overcomer. I can defeat this. This is not going to keep me down. Okay, I have a plan for my life. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to have a successful business. I'm going to own this. I'm going to invest this. I'm going to sow the church. I'm going to give the church $100,000. Done. What you focus on has a direct impact on how you feel. What you focus on has a direct impact how you feel. And I'm going to prove it. If I take a blade right now, if I take a blade and I cut your hand, you're going to focus on that blood because it's going to hurt, right? So I tell you, I got $200,000 in my pocket. All you got to do is put on a 70-pound pack and walk 10 miles. I guarantee you, you're going to be focused on that $200,000 and you're going to forget about the cut on your hand. So what you focus on has a direct impact on how you feel. I know that was kind of over the top, but it's the truth. And I can tell you, and Pastor C can probably tell you, I've done that. I've actually put on a 70-pound pack before, and I've actually walked 15, 20 miles. And I can tell you after the 10th mile, you can't feel your legs. So you got to trust your training to get to your destination. You got to trust in yourself. What I've learned over the years or whatever to get to that destination. So I wasn't focused on my legs because I can't feel them anyway. But I knew when I get to my destination, I was going to rest. I was going to get food. I was going to get water. What could not kill me only makes me stronger. That's my mindset. What cannot kill me only makes me stronger. What my time look like? Okay, let me wrap this up. Okay, let's talk about standards. Raise your standards by turning should to must. When it is a must, it shows up in your everyday rituals. When it's a must, I must get up and read. I must lose 20 pounds. I must do this. When it's a should, it'll never happen. Because when you all been there, I should do this, but I ain't do it this time. Right? It happens. But if you put that must on there, you must do it, then you can see it. You can visualize it. It will happen. Okay. Let's talk about beliefs real quick, so I can run through this really quick. Change your limited beliefs. Be aware of them and destroy them quickly. You're not limited. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Discipline your thinking by being curious instead of being judgmental. This is what I mean real quick. If a person has a problem, don't be quick to judge them. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know their situation. So being curious instead of judgmental will help us as believers in God. It'll help us along our journey. So we have to really truly believe that. Develop positive thinking by going on a negative thinking diet. Go on a negative thinking diet. Have you ever thought about that? For a week, think about just positive, just negative thinking diet. Go on a negative thinking diet. Okay, model what works. Okay, this is a system. Okay, belief, potential, action, and result. Okay, so if you believe something, say for instance, I'm a salesman, right? I'm a door-to-door salesman. I go to door to door, and I go to the door like this. I'm trying to sell this, and it's this TV. You want to buy this TV? You don't believe in your product. You don't believe in your product. So your belief is really, really low. So the potential to get good results are really, really low, right? So if you do that a couple of times, you're gonna quit. You're not gonna sell too many. Okay, so it's gonna turn into action. So your action is gonna drop. So when your actions drop, it's gonna get the result that you did because you wasn't believing in your product. But if you believe in your product, and I'm talking about you, I'm talking about you. When you believe in you, the potential to get the right results, you're gonna do it more. Okay, you're gonna read more, you're gonna study more, you're gonna do those things more, and you're gonna get good results. And then you begin to change. Okay, you begin to walk out what God had in mind for you in the first place. Okay, moving right along. Competition. Compete with yourself. Compete to what you can be, not where you are. I know that sounds kind of crazy, like kooky, but you need to compete with yourself. You're not competing against people. Okay, don't do that. You need to compete what you're gonna be, or you can be, not where you are right now. Okay, so compete with that. Break unproductive tendencies. Unproductive tendencies, why are you still doing them? They don't work. That's crazy. Stop doing those things. I'm gonna talk about time real quick. How much time I got? 5 minutes? 5 minutes? Okay, 5 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for the 5 minutes. Thank you, Lord. Time gives us an opportunity to measure where we are and manage what we do with it. An opportunity to measure where we are and manage what we do with it. Dog Rock always talk about event planning. Okay, so you're managing events. Okay, is what you're doing. Okay. Also, so that means that you need to invest. Whatever you invest in, you will become. So if you invest in being like myself, being the best coach ever, then that's what I'm gonna invest in. If I want to be a doctor, then I go talk to the doctors. See what I'm saying? So whatever you invest in, but if you want to hang around crazy folks, you're gonna become crazy. That's just the way that works. Okay. Let's talk about real quick the ROI, return on investment. There are 86,400 seconds in the day. I don't know if you knew that. Okay. It is. Imagine if you had $86,400 $86,400 a day, every day. Got a bank. You put it in the bank. But this is how it works though. At midnight it goes away. At midnight it goes away. What are you going to do with the 86,400? Okay. Are you going to withdraw it out the bank? If you have to spend it, you have to spend it. It has to go away. You can't leave it in the bank because it'll be less with the next day. Everybody understand that? So what would you do? 86,400. Would you draw it out and use it? Okay. All right. Good. Well, imagine money being time. What are you going to do with time? Okay. Are you going to waste it? What are you going to do with it? Whatever is not invested wisely is lost daily. So you need to pay attention to what your time looks like. Okay, time really important. Okay, and I'll close with this. Well, one more thing. Can I get 2 minutes? 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, 2 minutes. To realize the value of, I'm talking about time. I'm talking about time. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask a person who just missed the train or plane. To realize the value of 1 second, ask the person who narrowly avoided an accident. To realize the value of a millisecond, ask the person who received the silver medal. I'm going to close with this. Y'all get some out of this. Close this. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. That is why it's called the present. Thank you for your time.
Come on, put your hands together for the word tonight. Wow. It's good stuff. Amen. I hope y'all don't take that for granted, because he's giving you the word, but he's also giving you things that he studied and how to put it in action. And when I'm hearing things that I know people pay for, my ears stick up. And that's what I heard. Amen. Because if there's no investment, if you don't invest in yourself, don't expect to have nothing. A man that won't invest in himself shouldn't expect anything. If you sleep during planting season, don't expect to reap during the harvest. Even Solomon said that in his great wisdom. Don't give up. If you don't give up, you'll reap, he said. This is a good teaching. Amen. God, listen, God has an assignment for you, and you got to complete it. Because the deal is, he's going to judge you on that assignment. That's the deal. See, the deal is that you don't get away. We think we get away, but he's going to ask you why you didn't do what he asked you to do. You can't say I ain't have time. Because you had plenty of time, but we just wasted it, right? I'm not going to beat you up. I'm just saying, that's what's going to happen. And you ask anybody who's successful, or anybody who especially have money and they made it through God, or self-made, as somebody would say, they rather give you their money than give you time. You can make a whole lot more money, but you can't make any more time. That's why I tell people, I'd rather you slap me than mess with my time. Yeah. And I don't waste time, because I generally go nowhere without this iPad. If I'm going to the bank, I carry my iPad with me just in case somebody have an accident or something. I'm stuck in traffic, because if I have this, I can do a whole lot of work, learn a whole lot of things, and ain't no waste of time when you got your iPad or your iPhone. Now some of y'all gonna waste. If the train was at the track, or somebody had an accident, you're gonna pick up your phone and you're gonna play games, because you play games with your life. So that's what you do. You play games. So that's what you do when you have time. You play games. You see, some of y'all playing too many games. You got an assignment for God, and you playing games. Every idle minute you get your phone out and you open up a game. I see people playing games all the time. And I'm not saying you can't play games. That ain't what I said. You know, it can, you know, it may be your hour to relax, you know, but if every time you have any kind of free time, you playing a game, I guarantee your life probably is a game. Yeah, you playing games with your life, and because that's what you do. So you have to be very careful with that. Turn your shoes to must. That's what the order said. Turn, and that's true. You know, I listen. I have to drink more water. Anybody like me that don't like water? I really don't like water. I really drink, I don't know, mud almost. You know, I really don't. But now I made it a should. So I'm drinking. So it ain't that I should drink. It's a must. Excuse me. You know, I made it a must. I must drink water. So I'm starting now to drink water. Now I'm going to go to the restroom a lot of time. But I must drink water. All right. Now that may be no problem with you, but that's a problem with me. But what about yours? What shoes you have that need to become must? All right. And then last thing I want to hit on, one more thing is positive thinking. All right. Positive thinking. Matter of fact, I'm teaching at a national conference here Friday morning. I got to teach, and my topic that the owner of the company gave me was a lifestyle of positive thinking. I never taught that there. And he asked me to do that 3 months ago. He said, I want you. I'm like, boy, it's a setup for y'all. That's real easy for me, boy. God get download me by about 50 scriptures. I'm like, now, you know, hallelujah. Amen. I'm going to go off on them. Yeah, but you got to think right. Man has 65,000 thoughts a day. 65,000 thoughts come to your mind. 80 to 90% of those thoughts are negative. You have approximately 65,000 thoughts come to your mind every day, consciously, subconsciously. Almost 90% of those thoughts are negative. So you have to control your thoughts. Do your thoughts to control you? You look like your decision. Okay, I'll leave it alone. So you got to start controlling that, so you control your destiny. Then last thing when he talking about is competition, you know, don't compete with other people. They asked Michael Jordan. You probably heard that. They asked Michael Jordan, you know, what makes him so good. Tony Robbins asked him asked him, you know, what, Jordan, what makes you so good? Not the fastest, not the quickest. What makes you so good? He's because I don't compete with people. I compete with myself. He's the others are competing with me, but I'm competing with myself. I'm not even competing with them. I'm competing with a standard I've set. And because of that, I beat them. So if you're going to compete what God has in your life, you don't have to compete with other people. You compete with the standard God gave you for you. Amen. And that way you ain't envious, you ain't jealous, you ain't, you know, all that kind of stuff. You're mad because other people, have this or that. You compete with them. When you compete with yourself, hey, I'm in my lane. I'm in my lane. I'm gonna get what's mine. You can't beat me being me. Man, listen, I love you. You can't beat me being Doc Rock. I'm telling you, can't do that. No, ain't gonna happen. I can't beat Total Package being a Total Package. That's TP right there. I cannot beat him. I can't beat all this. The power to define, the power to determine destiny. He created it. At least they think he did now. I can't even mention it in the jail. They say, oh, well, you got that from all this? Right? So we're going to go. So completing your God-given assignment. Everybody have an assignment. Okay. But it's beyond your intellect. It's beyond who you are. It's what God has downloaded in you as a person. I was talking to Pastor Keith and Mr. Orlis before ETI started. And I said, I was teaching on the mind and things of this nature 25 years ago when nobody in churches were even thinking about it around here. And I had not read one book by Norman Vincent Peale. I had not read one book by Tony Robbins. I didn't even know who those guys were 25 years ago. And I was, and some of you can go to sermons I preached 25 years ago. I have never read any of those books. And I was teaching things that they have in their books because God had downloaded it in me. I would just see a scripture and God would just give it to me different. I didn't know. I thought it was kind of crazy at one time. I said, man, Ain't nobody saying this stuff like this. How I see it like this. God, is this really real or am I making it up? I did. I did. I'm just being honest with you. I was saying stuff anybody would never say it. I'm just being honest with you. You know, you all today, what y'all, you know, what you thought yesterday. That stuff just came. But it's true. What makes you different than other people? What makes you complete your assignment than other people? How you think. How you think. And if you ever gonna change the trajectory of your life, you gotta change how you think. If you don't change how you think, you're gonna be just like everybody else. Losers. You know, most people are losers. I'll say that one more time. It's winning teaching right here, Wallace. Thank you, sir. Absolute, thank you. But most people are losers. I ain't trying to say that in a very negative, derogatory way, but they losers because they don't understand God already called them to win. Thanks be to God who always calls us to triumph, and we manifest the fragrance of his knowledge. Always. You're a winner. But most people think they're losers. And because they think they're losers, they're losers. The human will is the most dominant authority in the earth. Period. I'll say it one more time and I'm taking up your offering. The human will is the most dominant authority in the earth. Because God himself won't go against your will. He would not. So that's why you get this kind of teaching. Complete the assignment on your life. And look at your neighbor and say, you awesome. Come on. Yeah, you awesome. Not because of you, but because of God. I don't care how bad your hat is, Mike Brace. That's a bad hat. But without God, that hat ain't nothing but a hat. It's on the head. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Put your hands together. Thank you. Oh, let's say amen. Awesome job. Awesome. We're going to give to the Lord. Come give to the Lord and you are dismissed.